Stop whatever you are doing right now. Just block out the noise and listen very closely.
Take a seat, because this story is heavy.
What we just uncovered in the Brian and Lynette Hooker case is going to shake you to your core.
Look at this.
Forget the recycled headlines. Today, we are exposing a dark, hidden truth that has been completely buried until now. Most people believe Brian only had his daughters. But they are wrong. Direct family sources have just confirmed that Brian has a secret adult son living completely off the grid in Oregon. His very own flesh and blood. Jacob Hooker, who recently changed his name legally to Jacob Pellegri.
But the story gets far darker.
He despised his father so deeply that he legally erased the name Hooker to sever their tie forever.
While everyone thinks Brian is laying low,
he was just spotted at a Michigan mall, dumping his local attorney for an elite federal defense lawyer.
he desperately needs heavy Department of Justice experience because a federal arrest is looming.
You cannot afford to miss these next details, as the disturbing facts we are uncovering change absolutely everything. How did this secret, hidden bloodline finally get exposed? The truth came out on Ashley Banfield's show when Lynette's own parents finally broke their silence. What they shared on the broadcast is enough to make anyone freeze. Everyone believed Brian only had daughters, but no, he has a secret adult son, Jacob Hooker, living a quiet life out in Oregon. Here is the twist that exposes the dark reality of this family.
Jacob refuses to carry his father's name.
Why? Because of pure, deep-seated resentment. Before his mother, Elizabeth, passed away from cancer, she openly warned people about Brian. That warning ran so deep that Jacob legally stripped the name Hooker from his identity, becoming Jacob Pellegri to sever all ties to his father. Imagine the level of dysfunction required for your own child to legally erase your name out of sheer disgust. But the mystery deepens further. While Jacob hides in Oregon, where is Brian? He was spotted thousands of miles away, walking through the Center Point Mall in Grand Rapids, Michigan, with his daughter, Rosie. Yet he completely ignored his other daughter, Carly, who lives nearby and has not heard from him in 8 weeks. Why is he in Michigan? Because he is terrified. Ashley Banfield's sources confirm Brian fired his local attorney to hire an elite federal defense lawyer. This is a heavy-hitting former United States attorney, someone with deep Department of Justice experience. If his wife simply vanished in an accident, as he claims, why does he desperately need a high-profile Department of Justice lawyer? Because he knows the FBI is watching and a federal murder indictment is imminent.
But the details get even more sinister.
Look at how quickly Brian abandoned the search. He cried on television, swearing he would never leave the Bahamas without Lynette. He literally told the whole world that only a higher power could get him out of there. But guess what? While the cameras were rolling and he put on that dramatic performance, he was secretly working behind the scenes to secure an emergency passport. The very next morning, he hopped on a plane and fled. Talk about a massive, bold-faced lie. He did not just leave his missing wife behind. He abandoned his family. Think about this. He completely cut off all contact with Carly, the daughter he had raised since she was 3 years old. It has been 8 straight weeks, and he has not spoken to her once, without even telling her he was in Michigan.
A traumatized, grieving father simply does not act like that.
It shows a total lack of human empathy. But if you want to understand his real pattern, Lynette's father, Dan, just exposed a dark secret from Brian's past that changes everything. Years back, Brian was fired from his job at AT&T for a highly specific type of fraud. He was caught deliberately manipulating and masking the GPS tracking on his work van to hide his true location. Let that sink in for a moment.
He has a documented history of tampering with digital tracking devices to skulk around in secret.
Is it not chilling that the exact same digital masking pattern happened with the vessel's GPS out on the water?
As it turns out, Brian has always had a highly unstable, dark psychological past.
After losing that job, spiraling into severe clinical depression, he ended up heavily medicated and even suicidal. He eventually chose to live completely homeless on the beaches of Hawaii. Why? Because he openly admitted he loved how it let him escape authority and hide from the man.
Now, consider the absolute breaking point of Brian's story, where his entire defense completely self-destructs under real scientific proof.
LYNETTE's devastated parents, Dan and Kathy,
Finally shattered his narrative by exposing the massive lies he told them over the phone.
Right after the incident on Easter, Brian called them,
claiming Lynette accidentally fell out of the dinghy and was last seen swimming straight toward the shore. But guess what? He completely changed his tune, later telling other people she was swimming toward a random passing boat.
Why change such a critical detail?
Unless you are desperately trying to cover up what actually happened out there in the dark.
When you look at the physical reality of that location, his story becomes downright impossible.
Dan revealed that the exact spot where Brian claims Lynette went overboard was only 75 yards from the main shoreline.
Even wilder, it was literally just 30 yards away from a shallow sandbar with only 2 feet of water.
Now, do the math. Lynette was 5 feet 7 inches tall.
If she was just 30 yards away from water that only came up to her knees,
she could have easily just stood right up and walked to safety.
Looking at who Lynette actually was, his drowning excuse falls apart even more.
Her mother, Kathy, completely shattered Brian's story by proving Lynette was a powerhouse track athlete and an absolute master swimmer. She did not just casually swim. Regularly, she completed grueling 2-mile lake crossings for fun with her father.
There is absolutely no way an elite athletic swimmer drowns in calm water just yards away from safety.
So, how does this nightmare actually end?
Following the incident, Bahamian police locked Brian up, interrogating him for 5 intense days. They squeezed him hard.
But without Lynette's body in the ocean to prove a crime, they ultimately had to let him walk.
Yet if Brian thinks he got away with murder, he is dead wrong.
As the trap closed, Lynette's grieving father, Dan, delivered a chilling promise straight to his face. If you planned this, may you rot in hell.
This is no longer just a missing person case.
It is a federal countdown. What do you think lies behind Brian's secrets? Can he truly outrun his past?
Share your thoughts below.
Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss the next update. Keep pushing for the absolute truth.
And we will see you on the next investigation.